Holy crap! Wow! Wow! And with the moon too. Oh my God!
That was the moon, yeah.
All right. Welcome to FaBled Hunters.
I'm Yuanji.
I'm Saint.
And today we're going to be opening some stuff.
That's right. Actually, we're gonna be featuring some stuff. And before we got into it, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the gaming supply company of my preference. Yuanji, I don't know what your preference is. Is your favorite binder company Dex, or do you have a different one?
They don't only make binders. I have like a Dex, like deck box.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I have a treasure chest or a game chest as well, like a gaming war chest. I've used Dex for at least 5 years, and if they were around back in the day, I probably would have used them if I had known about them. And the episode won't have released yet, but look out for our 3000th anniversary episode where, you know, Dex isn't paying us to do this, but I'm still organizing end of year. Dex has some products, and we'll be giving away some products for our 3000 viewer giveaway. We don't believe in soliciting people for, or begging people for subscribers. We already hit 3000. That's why we want to give back to our viewers as a thank you. So all of the products today will be in Dex protection binders. And the reason why we're featuring this episode is because Yuanji and I got a case of the special product from Legend Story Studios, and we had a bet, or we had an agreement.
It wasn't a bet.
It wasn't a bet. It was an agreement.
Yeah.
Right? Where Yuanji would get all of the goods, and I would get all the marvels, and I didn't. You hit pretty damn hard, and I got nothing, and I felt a little salty. Ooh, Tectonic plating.
Yo.
Oops.
Ooh.
Oh, you got a hit. Oh, you got a we got an eye! What? Last time we opened up two, to Yuanji's delight and to my saltiness. You had also said that it would be a tough negotiation with my wife. I'm gonna have to have a negotiation with my wife to see if I could get more Black Label on FaBled Hunters.
I feel like that's going to be one of the most difficult sells you're going to have to do.
Yeah. I don't win them all, so we'll see.
Yes.
And I had already secured my first pallet of the foreign black bordered stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out because my wife was absolutely not having it.
Yeah.
And not only that, it started a chain of events where I was not allowed to purchase any more sealed product for the foreseeable future until certain conditions were required.
Yes.
Namely, a very large amount of sealed product and long boxes were to leave our house.
Uh-huh.
So that said, I had to use a good old noggin, and I procured some really awesome items at Worlds. So of all the sets out there, I have said before, and I just said on a Sloop Dupe stream really recently, that the best item, this best speculative item in Flesh and Blood is currently the foreign black bordered product, the foreign black bordered historic pack. And I just wanted to review it because here we have the foreign black bordered in alphabetical order as well.
Mm-hmm.
French, German, Italian, and Spanish. We have nearly a complete master set of every single one of the four. Missing a couple cards, but Yuanji, you've agreed to help me find some.
Yes.
Got KO over here in all four languages. Right? You've got the claws, the club, scab skins. And here, we'll look at the scab skins as Exhibit A. You remember playing Magic, right?
Yeah.
And you know what dual lands are. Did you ever play any active formats with dual lands, or you skipped all that legacy and vintage stuff, old school?
I actually entered one legacy tournament in my life.
Yeah.
There was a legacy Grand Prix in New Jersey.
Okay.
But I didn't play any dual lands because I was borrowing a Death and Taxes deck from
a friend.
Okay.
So only plains and like Russian imports.
Okay.
Wastelands.
So you never had the chance to play with dual lands?
I've never played with dual lands or owned any dual lands myself.
But in Flesh and Blood, you have legendaries, right? You have Alpha, or you have WTR and Arcane Rising legendaries, amongst legendaries from the other sets.
Yep.
Right? So here you have it. The Historic Pack 1 has the white bordered legendaries from the old sets, but FBB, foreign black bordered, because this is the first rendition of the foreign languages, has these cards in black bordered. And the reason why I mention the dual lands is because there were 10 dual lands, and they were integral to playing Vintage or Legacy. Here, you've got a card from the Power 10, so to speak, and I believe each card is integral to its class. So for the most part, if you're playing a Runeblade, you're using the Grasp of the Arc Knight. If you're playing a Warrior, you're using the Brageforge Bracers. If you're playing a Brute, you're presumably using Scabskin Leathers, right? Because it's probably the top card for that class. It's pretty universal, pretty much universal. Plus you've got the generics. Skullcap, not so much, but Tunic for sure, right? So here you've got a black bordered version of everything that comes in white bordered. And in terms of Magic the Gathering, everything that was foreign black bordered comes at a 2.5 to 3.5 premium or higher, especially for the playables like Lightning Bolt, to the white bordered counterparts.
Yep.
Now this is a product that's printed in 2022, so there's only a slight premium between regular Historic Pack 1 and black bordered for the moment, right?
I found that most of the time when I was selling any cards from History Pack foreign language, that you get about maybe like 20% above
white bordered?
Above even it's like up to 20% above even black border English.
Okay.
At like lowest rarity. Sometimes it's just like they'll pay for like most of the time when you transact like less fees. If you sell on Facebook or something, I think most of the time people were willing to pay like the extra 15% in the fees.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's higher demand, right?
Yeah, agreed.
And it is black bordered, which is the quintessential first print treatment.
Yep.
And they basically followed the formula of MTG, where because it's the first printing of the foreign languages, again, French, German, Italian, Spanish, the Mask of Momentums, plus the, what are these called? Sorry. Breeze Rider boots,
yeah.
Right? So you've got this, and you've got the key majestic gear from Crucible. You've got everything in one. It's got basically all of the best cards from the first three sets, right? Lord, the Mugenshi, the Ancestral Empowerment, plus, what was this? Heron's Flight?
Yeah.
Right? Crane Dance, Rushing River, all of that, right? Flick Flack. So you've got all the good parts from all three sets combined in one set. And you've got all the key building blocks for the first 8 heroes, or the original 8 classes in one, all in black bordered. You've got the extra heroes as well, right? You've got the main hero here, main warrior is Dory, B-side warrior is Kasai, right, for Blitz. You've got all the extra weapons as well. Again, you've got the bracers, the bolters, the courage, so everything you really need, and all the majestic cards. The key, you've got the twinning here, route, singing, right? Supremacy, you've got Spoils of War, right? All the main cards that you would want. What are your thoughts about this thesis, about this being a very valuable set that will just go up in value and, you know, maintain its value due to scarcity?
Yeah, so I remember when Foreign Black Border was first being released, and I think James was on, I think it was on the Ibophidia podcast, and he was talking about the product, and he said that they were including kind of little surprises for everyone.
Of course.
And I'm sure we'll get to it at the end of your collection. But I'm talking, of course, about the Marvel heroes.
Yep.
And I think that Foreign Black Border History Pack, I'm not exactly sure what the total print run is, but I do know that it is like a limited quantity. But it was, I think, like the first set, like obviously Everfest was technically the first set to have this like double face like Marvel kind of rendition. But
I'm looking for Ridge Rider Shot Yellow in French, right?
But
Yuanji's looking for it, but if anybody happens to have one, reach out. Please reach out. Missing this one card.
Yeah, but it's just like, I think when the set first came out, this was like the first set that like really did it. Right? Like really did the Marvels. And I think that time has proven that Marvels are something that people really enjoy.
Grasp. Yeah.
And I think it does stand to reason that as a product, as like cards that you want to open, like the Marvel original 8 heroes, I think are pretty high on the list. You can tell that by the fact that they still have quite a nice hold on value.
Yep.
And I think
Icelander's still up there. Icelander Marvel still rather valuable from Uprising, right?
Yeah, and I think that when Tales of Aria and Monarch first came out, a lot of the people were saying, "Oh, these original 8 heroes from Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, they're just phasing them out. They were just like an introduction to the game.
They'll be redundant."
Yeah,
and I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think
Dory's still winning here and there, right?
I think if you pay attention closely to the cards that they're releasing, particularly in
Tunics,
the supplemental set, so in Dynasty and Everfest, you see that they always provide like some support for these older heroes.
We got CNC right here too.
Yeah. You always provide some support for the older heroes. Dash, most recently in Dynasty, I think got a lot of cards that kind of buff up her power level. And also
Yeah, Dash
Rhinar.
is back in meta right this moment,
Yeah,
right? Rhinar's back in again, yeah.
And so I think that LSS has taken like a very calculated approach in terms of like developing out their game, ensuring that they're going to provide support. I don't think that they're in the business of just like phasing like heroes into whatever.
No, it's not
mediocrity.
always the flavor of the month. Every hero, they strive to make it more playable. James just said on his recent interview with Flukenbox that watch out everybody, Azalea is going to be playable as of, was it Outsiders?
Yep.
Right? There's going to be Ranger support. And I mean, this product, they rolled this out to basically serenade all of the EU. You just saw the 4 copies of Command and Conquer. Here's the Enlightened Strike, right? Here's the Tome of Fyendal. Here's the Art of War.
Yeah.
You've got the 4 big generic Majestics of the game. And then on top of that, you've got Gorganian Tome, which is huge. That's a huge card as well, right? You've got everything you basically need in Black Border with your language support. You've got some classics like you saw Snatch. You've got the Sigil over here. You've got, sorry, these are from Arcane. What are they called? Ravenous Rabble. Yeah, Ravenous Rabble, Scar, Pummel. You've got everything you need. You've got sync belows and you've got Fate for Scenes. And there's a sync, aforementioned, and Unmovable. You've got all the key cards. These are the fundamental building blocks of the game, all wrapped into one set. And you can pull all of the Power 10 except for the Skullcap, which is less, because they just made Skullcap, they just reprinted it in Everfest. So you've got 9 of the Power 10.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like Yuanji said, you can pull things that you can't even find in Historic Pack. So all of the comparables are already 1.x, 1.2 or greater than the white-bordered crappy Historic Pack counterparts. You can pull a Fyendal Spring Tunic here, which is worth more than the Historic Pack white-bordered counterparts. And on top of that, the Piece de la Resistance, or Piece de Resistance is this. You've got all of the rainbow foiled FaBled cards. These are the only rainbow foils that are printed in the Foreign Black Bordered Historic Pack, and they only show up in Foreign Black Bordered, right? They're rare, but you've got a shot at all 3 in one case, right? Whereas you'd have to literally buy WTR Unlimited, Arcane Unlimited,
Yep.
and Crew Unlimited to get a shot at each of these respectively.
Yep.
So you're rolling for any of these three when you open up a foreign black bordered historic. And on top of that, there are foils that are not seen anywhere else. I don't know if you like that touch. What do you think of showing just the Marvel side? That's pretty cool, right? Instead of just
Yeah, I think I've talked to Sane about this in the past when it comes to like sets after the original 3 sets. We were talking about like what we think are going to be the most collectible cards, and I think when Everfest came out, I told Saint that I thought that out of all the cards in Everfest, I expected the double-sided Bravo to be the most collectible card. Now, obviously, it's a little bit infamous at this point.
Yeah, you're living legend too quickly, but
yeah. I think time will tell.
Oh, look at that Dorinthebe right there.
I think time will tell. And I just think that
This is a waifu page.
I think being able to collect like these heroes in their like original art, like full art, nicest like version.
Yeah. It's really special. I don't think there is currently any other rendition of the original 8 heroes in Marvel.
Nope.
There's not. So this is the only way to get them. They're rare.
Yep.
But they're in the foreign black bordered boxes. And they're hella valuable. From last I checked, they're what, $300 to $600, right? A piece. And I mean, the more notable ones, I think Dory's up there. I think Kano and Vis are up there, right? And then everybody else is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things where I think that this isn't something that you can necessarily appreciate right now, but I think opening on to like one of these cards, if I open one of these cards, I'd probably want to hold on to it for a while.
For a long time.
Because this is like a kind of like also like a piece of Flesh and Blood history where it's like the first set where they released a Marvel version of these like original 8 heroes.
Yep.
And it's pretty crazy like how much people like these, because I don't know if you pay a lot of attention to the prices of all of like the cold foil heroes or such, but I think when these first came out, like all of the cold foil versions of like the original heroes, like even though that they were given out as like I think first like very early skirmish or like armory promos or such, like the value of those just like
has gone up. Yeah, the cold foil Dorinthia, the OG one, is I think over $1,000 now, and the Bravos and these other 3 are somewhere in the 800. I mean, Dory's the only chick from the first set. Yeah. But these are $700-800 a piece as well. I think.
So it's just like people really enjoy collecting heroes, and I think that this is just like it's a piece of Flesh and Blood history. It's the first time that they've done like these original 8 heroes. I don't know if in the future if they're gonna do them with different art or like whatever it is that they're planning on. I have no idea. But I do know that this is like the only set that you can get this version.
This version
you can't get them in English.
Exactly, and they really hit it out of the park. Again, when we were on Sloop Dupe Uncensored, a stream, a podcast, I was asked, what would I buy? What would I buy if I had the choice? If it was only about making money, or if it was only about a return on investment. We usually don't give financial advice, and this is not financial advice, but I was trying to buy a pallet each of this product, and if my wife did not forbid me and overhear me on the phone making these arrangements, and if we didn't get in a big fight over it, I would have pallets of each of these sets right now. I unfortunately do not. The best I could do was to secure master sets of each of them, but I mean, at $100 to $150 a box right now, I don't think there's a better deal. Like Alpha is over $2,000, $2,500 a box. HP1 is already in the $100-110 range, right? But just our mutual friend, Michael Fang, Cards with Michael, he's in the Facebook groups literally right now, I think selling boxes for like $140, $150, whatever it is. The guy needs to make money, but it's a great deal because you can get these. You can get these FaBleds, and even the rainbow foil FaBleds are worth more than their English counterparts, right? The Marvels, you can't get them anywhere else. And who knows? I mean, who knows what you're gonna get if you open it up? You might get a Command and Conquer, you might get an Enlightened Strike. Art of Wars, probably $60 regular already. These Art of Wars are probably 20% more, 70, 75. And who knows, if you get a Marvel, that's even better. That pays for multiple couple of boxes up to a whole case. So think about it. That's our one tip to you, from the FaBled hunters to the Fab Fam. Go buy and open up some foreign black bordered, because if you follow the price trajectory of foreign black bordered in games like MTG, it worked out. If you follow the foreign language prints of games like Pokemon, it worked out. And I don't see why Flesh and Blood would be any different. I've got one set of each of them because that's all that my wife will allow me to have. And that's all I will have. Well, Yuanji's got my back. Hopefully, if anybody has a French yellow Ridge Rider shot, hit me up, because I'm looking for that one card. But other than that, that's the set, guys, and these are so beautiful. I'll just leave it on the waifu page so that you guys can think about it, about your big buy for 2023. All right? I guess that's it, right, Yuanji?
Yep.
All right, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit up our Patreon if you can, and twiddle that notification button. That's it for now, everybody. Bye. It's moving! Holy crap! Wow! It's moving!
Filha, watch, filha, watch.